All right, folks, welcome back. For those that hung on after that amazing first match between Intuition and Specchio, we have more action coming at you right here, right now. It's going to be eedefeed versus ColumW. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen here. eedefeed, of course, taking down TD Kaiser in the first round. ColumW taking myself down in the first round. So the story wrote itself, where I went from contestant to commentator, just right into the booth, and here I be in front of you fine folks. Once again, we are starting off. Everything is going to be zeroed out, starting from scratch, best of three.
Yeah,
And
well, I'm glad you maybe didn't lose that match. It's great to have you here.
for sure. I'm glad to be here. In all truth, this is far more comforting to do this than the nerves of actually playing on the big stage. And it's as supportive and as wonderful as the LevelHead community truly is. It's definitely a nail biter to get out there and put your skills on display, because you just don't want to go up there and just eat spikes all day. Like you have it for breakfast, man. Like, that's just not what you want to do. But everyone has put on such a wonderful show. Every match that we have seen so far has been absolutely spectacular, and in their own right, every single step of the way. And eedefeed, also, by the way, no slouch. I think he has the second highest single match clear rate going into this. So ColumW has a bit of a mountain to get over. eedefeed has done a lot of practice for the DLC here, running a bunch of those challenge playlists. We'll see if that's additional understanding and knowledge will help out. ColumW definitely has a disadvantage, though, just from sheer levels played standpoint. However, he is a very skilled competitor, does a very good job overall, and I think he will very much match the skill of eedefeed throughout. We'll see what the playlists have in store for them. What do you think, PK?
Yeah, I fully agree with you on that. On the levels played at the start of this, Column W had less than 200 levels under his belt. Meanwhile, Edifeed, as you said, had been practicing and got his. He's only been playing since January, and he's almost at 2,000 levels played. That's in the same reign of Intuition, and quite a few other full beta testers. So that's really impressive to see that amount of plays in such a short amount of time. So I think you're right. I think Edifeed's practice is really going to show through on here. Column W's previous Smash Brothers tournament experience might. He's probably the calmest of all the contestants, is my guess.
That is absolutely for sure. So tournament jitters are nothing new to him. He has that stress here. eedefeed knocking at the door of making his way into grand finals for this time around. We'll see what we actually have to work with for sure. But either way, we'll be seeing these guys again tomorrow, regardless what the result is here in either the bronze match or facing against Specchio then for the championship of DLC Season 2.
Yeah, and I should also mention, Edifeed has played the most DLC out of everybody. He also did the exhibition round, so I don't know. Maybe that's a leg up.
Like I said, that's for sure, man. He's done extensive testing. He has experience with it. He's involved with helping out with DLC. So as it is, but
Yeah.
he's no slouch by any means. Both of these people have their own merits. We'll see the strengths and weaknesses come out. ColumW definitely is the young gun that's coming into this here. Truly the dark horse against me, but took me down no problem. Will he find his way into grand finals with his initial outing? Only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Just a quick shout out to Edifeed on this one. He's put quite a bit of technical help and guidance into making this DLC happen. So if you have a chance to give him a thanks for that, you can always head over to his channel. He runs LevelHead on Tuesdays, and he does other bonus streams here and there. But yeah, got to give him that proper shout out for all the technical guidance he's provided to make this stream that much smoother.
Right, you are. This is definitely a group effort the whole way through, guys. Again, through all those that are happening behind the scenes here to bring you this broadcast that we have today. It's a big thank you to all of the administration, to all the people that have done casting. Again, you guys will be hearing two other voices tomorrow for grand finals and bronze match. It'll be Sineath and Talk Gibberish will be your commentators for that day. As well, but a big thank you to all that have come out and run, the runners, and you guys, most importantly, the viewers, that you guys are here. We're bringing this show on for you to enjoy and to get involved with, and we fully welcome anyone that wishes to come hang out with us here on the Discord. Again, check the info, go take a look at that. Come hang out, find out when the next DLC will be taking place, and you yourself can throw your name in the hat. All skill levels are going to be welcomed. And we fully encourage that we hope to expand this out and get more and more competitors each time. More competitors means more matches, means more content for you guys, and more fun for all of us to have with this wonderful game that Butterscotch Shenanigans has brought us. So thank you to everyone that has been involved from soup to nuts here. It's been a fantastic time. And PK, you've been a fantastic co-commentator to work with. I'm looking forward to having another time with you here with this match.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. Yeah, we're gonna see what sport comes up out here. We'll see what kind of athletes we have here. Super excited to be here. It's great to have you on. I'm really excited actually to see the commentary tomorrow as well. Um, I get to sit back a little bit and rest my vocal cords, so that should be fun. Um, yeah. What sport are we running with today, or I
Well,
guess this hour?
well, let's see. We had a whole bunch. I like the pugilism and boxing metaphors. I think those were quite nice overall. But we did some Olympic stuff, some relays. I mean, we talked about fencing for that final draw, and just Specker was able just to pull out the point here. And it looks like the guys are getting set here. Hang tight 1 second, and we will get this match here started, guys. Should be fun.
I do like Sinosis' suggestion of gymnasts.
Will they stick the landing? Will
That's
they deliver the goods real good? We will see.
Looks like we're pretty close to being ready to go. I think Judge Chad is just coordinating with the players. Let's have a quick check in. Yeah, so as I guess Specky was saying on his post-match wrap-up there, he said at this point in time, actually I guess before the screen before this, he's looking at the times to see what he's reasonably expecting himself to do.
And that's actually a really good strategy to kind of scope things out a bit and kind of figure out what your flow is going to be. What I actually think is fantastic is I was doing kind of the same thing in my match, but when you're in there, you can't remember, hey, oh, that level that's 3 levels ahead of me right now is going to have a 2-minute clear time. I should skip that. It turned into more so reactionary. So it's kind of hard to tell at this point. We'll see what both these guys do, what kind of groove that they find. I expect eedefeed with his knowledge will probably push his way through a lot of these levels, and if he doesn't feel comfortable, he will skip sooner rather than ColumW. I fully expect eedefeed will be going to the second playlist in pretty much all of these sets.
Yeah, that's a pretty good call, I think. eedefeed's familiar with the levels and will be making those skips. If you look at the list right now, I see a handful of familiar names and a few unfamiliar. Oh, looks like we're shooting off here.
All right, guys, and away we go. Start of the second match. Best of luck to both runners. And to start the match off here, it looks like we have Edie with the skip. And ColumW within reach. He can see the goal right below, but can he find his way up there to get the 10 gems apparently that are needed? Well, we will see.
Yeah, it looks like he's gonna try and stick it out, and figure out how to do it. But as you said, oh, I mean, sorry, not as you said here, but as you say, a bit obtuse.
And right you are, for sure. And now they're both on the same level, however. We will see what we can find. It's both looking for that first blood to get themselves on the board, get that little vote of confidence.
This is a fun-looking level. We're guiding that package around the perimeter as he goes into a brawler-style match there.
Now, with that tiptoe power up, if things get a little hairy, you can actually turn into the bush and actually get out of it's like your get out of jail free card with that. You can kind of tiptoe away, and also during that point, the enemy AI will turn off. They will just go into their normal fashion at this point, and that can buy you some time. Now, eedefeed grabbing the package on his side and gets his first blood to him.
So he heads on to Temple of Two Ordeal by Boot the Dog, another ruins level. Never mind, going for the quick skip.
I think that was the right call on that one as well. Again, like I said, I fully expect eedefeed is going to be taking skips earlier rather than later on this based on his comfort level, what he has. And on ColumW's side, he's still working his way through, getting in that final brawler section. We know that the package is on the way. You can see the delivery happening at the bottom there. And he just has to make it to the top, and he will get himself on the board as well.
Yeah, for such a new player, ColumW does show quite a bit of talent in just navigating, difficult brawler sections like this. I'm surprised to see that he has such a small amount of playtime, considering what performance he shows.
And I can agree with you right there as well. But it looks like he's struggling a bit with this brawler section, wasting a lot of time. But he knows that there's a clear insight if he can just survive the flip whips.
Yeah, eedefeed is, as you've called it, so confident on his skips. The level's barely showing before he's got that start button mashed, not even looking what's around him.
And that's going to be the right call as well, because he's saving that time and actually putting the effort where it needs to go into actually completing levels rather than deciding whether or not to skip. So being decisive is the big thing. And unfortunately, ColumW not getting that clear, the brawler just causing so much trouble for him. So he has to move on. And now both players trying to find what they can do on this level here. eedefeed with the early lead coming out of this. ColumW is going to find his way. Edie with a bit of a late skip this time around, however. So kind of interesting that he sunk some cost into it and then decided it was not worth it. We will see. And we just have about a little over 11 minutes left on the clock here. Still anyone's match by any means here. But I'm sure at this point, since this is the first match of the day for both of them, they've been waiting. They watched the match beforehand. They got to find the rhythm. Edie's going to be feeling pretty good about getting his 2 clears out of the gate and make that 3, extending his lead even further.
Yeah, that was a great little package climb he did at the end there. He missed the checkpoint on the drop and then just super clean package juggle on the flingos to get back up.
The column was also potentially on the board as well, if I saw that correctly. I may be wrong, but we'll see at the end here.
I think I saw it. You are correct.
Lead and grabbing another clear as well. And that was part of Cammy's 10-minute series. It's a 10-minute build. So we know that those are fairly short levels, but with simple concepts. So a good one to find here today.
And meanwhile, eedefeed, wow, absolutely killed that Osu level.
Now, usually when we see an Osu level, usually a skip follows, but he felt pretty good about it, and he's made it through the first playlist already. A confirmed 5 clears out of the gate. With 10 minutes to go, the man made it through 1 playlist already in 5 minutes. He may just be hanging out and he may get some popcorn in the end. We'll see. Because once you skip a level, guys, it is done. You cannot go back.
Yeah, for those of you who blinked as eedefeed blazed through that Osu level, that's Osu's level setup is quite challenging because there's so much going on and you can't focus clearly on what exactly is happening. I'd say that's another highlight material right there.
That was definitely a very fast clear, probably the fastest Osu level clear that we've seen in the DLC, possibly across all of them at this point. So fantastic job by him for sure, and a lot of composure. He's got to be feeling pretty good about getting through that set so quickly with five clears on the clock with 5 minutes past. That's an average of 1 minute per clear. That's a heck of a pace.
Yep. Of course, as you said, eedefeed has no idea how ColumW is performing at this point, so he could feel like those 5s it might just be even with with ColumW. He, no guarantee for him that he's feeling de-stressed yet.
Right, you are. Once you get that initial set on the board, that's usually when the jitters will kind of go down. But you don't know. You don't know. You have to just kind of keep pushing forward as best as possible. And I don't think eedefeed is looking for this to be a close match. He wants to make this as decisive as possible, not take it to the judges, not go to a tiebreaker. And ColumW struggling with these regret gates, having a bunch of regret himself, and wondering whether or not he may choose to skip this one just based on the time loss that he's experiencing here, because he's got to climb all the way back around just to make it through here, but just doing what he can.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Those regret gates are living up to their name right now.
Right you are, sir. eedefeed just saying nope to the flip whip and sees the gems above, gets enough, and grabs another clear.
I think he must have known that level. He ran into a gem gate near the end there, but still pressed on flawlessly into the enclosure. So I think that's level knowledge advantage is really playing heavily into this as well.
Right, you are again doing your research beforehand, getting that knowledge about levels and practicing. If you get lucky enough to pull from the hat levels that you've seen before, that can definitely help to your advantage. But you still need to execute, that's for sure. And speaking about execution, ColumW here has a little bit of flingo action to get through. And I'm wondering if he's thinking, what can he do? Where should he go now?
Yeah, as you pop through that route, pop through a rift, and you come out, and you got left and right. And that's got to be tough to figure out where you want to be going.
And unfortunately, taking a very late skip on that one. I'm sure that was a big regret on that one on his side. Again, not to hammer home the regret gate things we were seeing before, but this is definitely going to hurt for him at this point. So he's going to try to find some other completions to get, hoping that he can find something better on the map, and eedefeed on his side. Also making confident progress moving forward. Everything about his actions here seem very well planned and executed. I think he's playing great today.
Yeah, he's got a show going on right now. I actually missed if he might have skipped or cleared that last section there. So I'm going to get a quick score check at the end of this one. But as you said, he's already on a second playlist, so it should be easy to do that.
Right, you are. But right now, again, Edie is not going for that single clear, does it go to the judges type moment. He wants to make sure this is decisive the whole way through and show that the young gun that he means business. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, eedefeed is definitely showing some fantastic skill set as he will. Right now, at the moment, he's kind of exploring around. That's maybe not as exciting, but those earlier ones definitely shows what he knows what he's doing.
Well, even so, you can even tell just based on how he's exploring the way that he's not really stopping. He's walking around pretty well, doing that recon along the sides. It's a pretty expansive level to dig through, but looks like he will be getting that clear. So consistency and persistence is rewarded once again for eedefeed.
Yeah, I think one of the good things that he's probably been working on is making sure to register where that goal is before, as you pass it. Because in some of those levels, it can be very subtle. You don't notice it. You get to the package, and by that time, you've forgotten where the goal was.
So it is very easy when you're in the competition to actually get tunnel vision and just put the blinders on where you're just basically fixated on, okay, where's the package? Do I have to get the package? I have to make progress, and you miss certain things around you. And that very much may have been the case for Into versus Specchio. Specchio was looking and found that one gap he needed to get that clear that Into was missing because he was focused so heavily on pushing the way forward of what he thought was correct. So it can be very difficult to find things and remember simple details like that even you as a viewer may see.
No, 100% agree on that one, even though I get to sit nice and comfy in this caster's booth most of the time. You know, looking over at eedefeed's screen, looks like Speed is being punished by rockets.
Right, you are. And we're at sub 5 minutes here, guys, and eedefeed putting on quite a show out of the gate, a strong showing for sure. And hopefully this will do pretty good wonders for his confidence moving forward. ColumW, however, trying to find his rhythm today, and hopefully maybe the next playlist that he gets will be a little kinder to him. It seems like he's had some rough bits with enemies and some traps, and had to take some regrettable skips pretty late in some of the levels here, whereas eedefeed has just oozed confidence the entire way here. But at this point, getting some difficulties with these Spiketron jumps, but also making some tangible progress.
Yeah, even if ColumW is struggling a little bit in this opening one, we have seen contestants definitely turn up the engines going into set number 2. So he's still got it set to come back, fight his way through, and get some clears, and give eedefeed a run for his money.
Speaking of clears, ColumW just grabs himself a clear. That's got to be a big help for him. And right now, eedefeed on his side, he's working his way up. He gets a boost into the Spiketron for that bomb. It's got to hurt. He has the package. He sees the goal. There is a point in clear. He smells blood in the water, and he's going to go ahead and see what he can do. But I know he's got to feel frustrated at this point. He should have been there by now. And he gets his clear.
Yeah, so that puts eedefeed at 8, ColumW at 2 with 3 minutes left on the clock.
And Column opting to skip alongside with Edie. Now, by the way, one thing I wanted to note here, guys, something that Edie maybe did not know was that the back of that little house that the goal was in was actually not enclosed. He could have got there beforehand instead of actually skipping it when the timer went off. So I'm sure that was a head slapping moment for him, but otherwise he's doing pretty good. Again, with this level, seems like it's a bit of a troll. He sees the end, but those prize blocks are just persistently getting in his way. And ColumW going for a ride here in these cannons, and unfortunately ends up dying in the process.
Yeah, that's a tough one there. It looks like you got to do some intricate bouncing with the armor pack off of blasters into spikes. I think for a player that maybe hasn't experienced a lot of the mechanics in the game, this could feel a little odd.
Now he's got the concept now, though. He did learn about keeping the momentum, as we can see here. Now he does need to make it to the next spike to maintain that momentum with the jump. So if he ends up not getting that momentum, he's gonna have to reset. A level like this, it may be a simple tech level, but to execute it, it may take substantial amount of time. I'm sure he's feeling the pressure right now.
Yeah, and for those of you who may not know what the momentum mechanic Retrofile is talking about here, is essentially if you jump just before you touch that ground, you actually do not get slowed down by the friction on the ground. So you can keep those high velocity speeds from blasters and other objects.
Right, you are. Excellent explanation as well. There's a lot of levels that kind of revolve around this mechanic. Usually you'll find them with Slippy Goo, which is the least friction reducing platform that you can kind of go with as well. But if you keep doing those short hops and you buffer your jumps, buffering as in like just pressing jump just before you touch the ground so you can hop on that first frame possible, you can maintain the maximum amount of that momentum moving forward. And that can be a very useful strat for not only completing levels, but breaking levels too.
So eedefeed doing a great job in the top right there, except I think he ran right past the package.
Well, he has it in hand now, but the question is, can he make it back down? He throws it up on top of the toe slider. ColumW moving on once again. And eedefeed getting himself yet another clear. Truly a excellent showing right out of the gate here for today. Coming out just guns a-blazing. Maybe we're doing some marksmanship today.
Yeah, if you want to do what is it, the biathlon, we can go with that one.
Oh, perfect. Yes, skiing and shooting all together as one.
Yeah, so it looks like eedefeed is just trying to finish this up, get himself one last bullseye, so he can feel good going into that next set.
I believe he's looking for those double-digit clears at this point after having such a fast 5 clear opening. ColumW confirmed 3 on that set.
And let's just confirm eedefeed score. Looks like he is indeed at 9.
And there it is, folks. Time on the first set. eedefeed handily taking ColumW 9-3. ColumW has a lot of work to bounce back on this one, but don't count him out yet. We have a whole fresh set coming up where things will reset back to 0. It's possible he could find a playlist he's more comfortable with, maybe something that may challenge eedefeed. Again, each player has their own respective strengths and weaknesses at this point. At this point, it's been very difficult to find a weakness for eedefeed after a great initial showing out of the gate. He's got to be feeling good about that one.
Yeah, absolutely. And this isn't the time to write off ColumW just yet. This is probably his lowest scoring set in the DLC. So I'm expecting some bigger numbers from him next time. Obviously, eedefeed, maybe he can capitalize on some of those easier levels too. But I think ColumW is just getting warmed up, and I'm excited to see him shoot off on his skis for this next one.
I like how we're dipping pretty deep inside the hat now of sports. Like you think basketball, football analogies. No, we're doing biathlon here, folks. LevelHead, sometimes you got to take the more obtuse way of doing things, and that's what we're doing. He's going to strap them skis on. He's going to load up the gun. Truly on target, scoring himself 9 points on this first outing. Will he finish strong in the second set? Will we have an early closure to this day, or will ColumW be able to take this to set number 3?
Yeah, it looks like Judge Jadge just getting everyone set up for the next set here. I think ColumW can give eedefeed something to work for here. So we'll see how that plays out in a few moments.
Right, you are. Now, all that being said, eedefeed now is 1 set away from getting his ticket to facing Specchio in the grand finals taking place tomorrow, guys. Again, more DLC Delivery League Championship action happening tomorrow as well. That's going to be a little bit later in the day compared to today. We had to slide things forward a little bit, but it was truly worth it. For those that woke up early, this was definitely worth the time. Hopefully, this is a great way to start your Saturday, your weekend. I know it was for me. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, I definitely didn't need my coffee coming in this morning. And tomorrow, as you're saying, another set, and that will be Talk Gibberish and Sinath as your hosts. Should be exciting to see them, uh, commentate through. So, well, excuse me, getting a little tongue-tied here. Must be that frostbite. So yeah, the winner of this match goes on to play Specchio in the finals. The person who doesn't quite win in this match goes on to the bronze match against Intuition. And we don't know what's...
your phrasing there. Doesn't quite win. Fantastic.
We got first and then the best of the rest today. That's what we have.
Yes, indeed, for sure. But I mean, like I said, this is there's a little less pressure, oddly enough, even if you're trying for that grand final berth. The fact that if you realize that if you lose today, you're still moving on technically to a different matchup. So this is not the last time you'll see anyone that you've seen today, guys. Intuition waiting for that bronze match competitor. Specchio waiting in the grand finals. We'll see who goes where. eedefeed 1 step away. ColumW has to run it back and take 2 sets in a row. Let's see if he's up for the challenge.
All right, the players are on their marks. Jad's about to start the countdown.
Everybody readying up. Countdown will begin here shortly, guys. Get ready. Second set begins now. eedefeed versus ColumW. Who's got it? Taking a brief moment to lace up their skis, and away we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
And we should mention for anyone just joining us that neither Retrophile or myself are biathlon athletes. So if you are and we are wrong about our analogies, you're probably correct.
Well, that being said, I played winter games on the old DOS, and that had biathlon, one of my favorite ones. So I think what we're saying here is pretty sound. That being said, 2 quick skips right out of the gate by ColumW. eedefeed following right behind here as well. Thinking about it for a quick moment. And ColumW now getting this avalanche of Lazumis coming down the pipe for him to deal with here in the Waylay.
Well, it looks like this set of levels they're both navigating through here are both slightly more straightforward style of levels. Well, I mean, a little bit of navigation, but not a lot of tech tricks happening.
Right, you are, for sure. But right now, all we have is skips coming out of the gate here, and ColumW staring down the barrel of an angry Swoopadoop nest. Again, my favorite to call them the twist geese, as confirmed by Seth, as they are shown up in the code. But quite the run. Oh my gosh, we got cromblers, jack drops. We got all things being thrown, all manners, but it is a hold right level in the simple sense. But getting to the other end of this looks like it'll be quite the trial and tribulation.
Yeah, Mr. Twitchums has my favorite wording for these twist geese. I can't say it on here, though, but he'll let you know what it is at some point. But both contestants having to fight hordes, swarms of these things. Murders. I think they're murders of Sweepy-Doops. Is that correct?
Yes, they're truly murders, that's for sure. And ColumW, however, finding his way through it, getting the clear. Fantastic job by him.
So that's the first clear on the match, and that puts ColumW ahead.
That certainly does. And right now with that 1-0, Edie has to be hurting right now. Right now he had a pretty good stride already going. Again, he was at that 1 minute average clear rate. You know, in 5 minutes he had 5 clears, and right now he's struggling. Maybe it was the curse of the commentator. That ColumW is going to come back strong here. We found things that are difficult for Edie to actually go through, but maybe he'll come back strong. We still have plenty of time yet to see. But ColumW fighting for his life right now to keep this set alive. And it shows now. Look at his play. Very confident, pushing his way through and not really waiting. He's just trying to make as much progress as possible. And it may be paying off.
Yeah, I'm thinking here that ColumW's previous experience with competition might be helping him out, where eedefeed, if he doesn't know the levels, he might be at a bit of disadvantage, where ColumW is just feeling comfortable in the unknown.
Right, you are. Now, it looks like that ColumW has the blop sack here. Basically, like a slight reduction in gravity for him to work with can give him some more time. He's found the goal. All that's left now is to find the package and speak, and it shall be found. And we have to find our way back up somehow without using the blop sack. So ColumW now just has to figure one other way out. He's going to have to use these blop fish, the proper plural. Blop fishes is kind of hard to get back up there and grab himself another clear. eedefeed on this side, having some difficulty getting terrorized by the Popjaw, who will just be relentless, pursuing him the whole way up these hard lights. And will he get it? Will he be the MVP? He lives and survives. He's coming down. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Just this mess. I cannot believe that Edie did not die. He threaded the needle. And on this side, ColumW grabs the clear. He gets his way up, and unfortunately, a very costly death for eedefeed. A complete reversal in tone and confidence in this set. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, eedefeed's been shown no slouch, as you say. That little brawler section showed some great maneuvering, but I think he's overextending his skip choice here.
Yeah, we saw before he was pretty heavy-handed with the skips before. Now, I don't know why he's actually gone this way. I have to imagine that maybe there's some complacency that, hey, I have the lead, and you do kind of like lose that fire, and ColumW is definitely stepping it up. Let it be known that I believe I took the first set against ColumW, or I took the second, I'm not sure. But long story short, he does not take well to losing a set and can readjust. That being said, eedefeed does get the clear on that one, and that was definitely hard fought the whole way through.
Yeah, now eedefeed heading into another murder of Swoopadoops. See if he can get the clear on this one. It looks like it's a very unforgiving type of level. If you get a death, there's very little recuperation opportunity.
And very much so as well. And ColumW on here, this is a pretty straightforward level to go through, so this should be a nice, easy clear for him coming toward the end.
And eedefeed almost had it, but missed the package grab. Then got punished for it.
An unfortunate turn of events. It looks like ColumW is reaching toward the end of his playlist here. It looks like we're on map number 8 on his side. eedefeed a little bit behind. I actually expected him to be a little bit more ahead, again, with more aggressive skipping potentially. So definitely a change in strategy that I have to imagine that Edie is going to adjust if this goes to a set 3.
Yeah, like you said, this could be one of those things where he's going to go back and play the VOG and maybe question a couple of his choices on that. But hindsight's 2020.
That's for sure. Again, it's a whole different psychology and mental state when you're in there. And congratulations there to eedefeed grabbing that clear, which I knew that he could get. Some heartbreaking losses quite at the end there. Some time lost that he cannot get back. ColumW, I wonder how he's feeling right now if he knew where he was standing.
Yeah, it's not like he's got a huge score guy right at the moment, so he's probably guessing that he's a little bit behind. But, you know, as we said before, you don't know for sure.
Indeed. It's definitely a tough sell, especially now that we're about 10 minutes in, or about 5 minutes in. We got 10 minutes to go. Looks like eedefeed will be getting this clear to tie it up here. He's found the goal. We know where the package is. It's not too far away. I can't imagine he's skipping this one. And on ColumW's side, the Sproing Shenanigans, he's got to figure out how to bounce his way up there and keep the package with him, it appears.
Yeah, this might be a little moment where some experience could have paid off as he figures out how these things interact and stack up appropriately while still being able to grab them as you get up.
Absolutely correct. And that might be a moment here where eedefeed's sheer knowledge of the game and the mechanics and the experience that he's put in may actually help him out quite a bit. We will see. And looks like ColumW currently knocking at the door of the clear, but throws the package down for some unknown reason.
Must use the nerves eating at them there a little bit. As your hands get cold, it gets a little harder to aim.
I love it. I cannot believe that you're making these analogies work, and they do. And eedefeed grabbing that clear. ColumW, though, we missed here on a moment ago. Those doors, they don't stay open. and he ended up actually dying on the way to the goal. It was a costly death. And as we know, eedefeed is now on the way to a level that should be a pretty easy clear for him. This very well may give him the lead if ColumW cannot work his way through this.
Yeah, you're correct. I think this is going to be the turnaround points. They're tied at 3-3, and we're just passing the halfway mark of the match. So if he gets this easy clear, he should be one ahead. Hopefully ColumW gets the door challenge, as you said there, figured out shortly.
I have to imagine at some point he's thinking, I've sunk so much cost and I can possibly get here. Will I do it? And it's going to be kind of scary that he's trying to do it a different way. Those doors are very fast. He gets the package. Fantastic clears for both competitors.
So that puts us at 4-4 as the ColumW heads into a sleepy level, usually a very fair, and I'll say if you see the top time there, it's not going to be anything insane. And eedefeed heading into the level with the closing and shutting doors that ColumW just wrapped up.
And completely agreed as well. Sleepy is a very consistent creator and makes some very aesthetically pleasing levels. We can see it's a very nice castle, kind of working his way up here on ColumW's side. eedefeed opting for the... Oh, he actually did not skip. He was going to be doing the restart there. But just like Esperator levels here, very even challenge from Sleepy. Should be pretty easy to know where to go. Not really obtuse design. So if you stick with it, you will get that clear. Just depends how much time will it actually take you.
Yeah. Looks like ColumW got himself distracted by a gem route there for a little bit. So let's see if he can get himself back on track.
The deaths here are a bit costly without grabbing that checkpoint, unfortunately. So he's going to climb this tower back up. And it looks like he sees the checkpoint down on the right side. He's going to grab that, I believe, and move on. And on eedefeed's side, he's also trying to work out this puzzle to get the doors start working as well. Will he grab this completion? We will see momentarily.
And if ColumW isn't familiar with this level, he might have to take a couple tries at this Vakrat boss. It's a pretty fair fight, but you do have to be careful that you don't bounce yourself into the flames while you're taking him out.
That definitely is a higher level of precision than what you would probably normally expect for a Vakrat. And also that the larger Vakrat, it can be surprisingly fast. And if ever he bounces off the side, you can see how he positions himself sometimes is below those flames. So it looks like that Column is trying to find another way, unfortunately opting for the skip. eedefeed still trying to work his way through here with the sprung puzzle to get things working the way he wants to get that clear. He can clearly see that end is in sight, but needs to find his way, unfortunately. And we are now sub 5 minutes, guys. So it's going to come down to the wire, I think, for this one. This is going to be a good match, so hang tight.
Yeah, we got this neck and neck going. I think we're going to be seeing it come down to the last couple of maps. It should be interesting to see what couple of maps are up ahead. I think that's really going to determine the results on this one.
And a painful death there for eedefeed, but gets back to the door and dies again at the exact same spot. That has to hurt. Losing the momentum and definitely losing a bit of a struggle here mentally, I have to imagine. He's feeling it. ColumW getting bullied by those pop jaws, but eedefeed persevering and grabbing himself that clear.
Yeah, I got to hand it to ColumW for figuring out the timing on those gates eventually. He had some good strategy by using a package jump to give himself some time to get through the doors and get back and grab it. It looks like eedefeed took the more brute force method and just, by the pixel of his toe, got through the gates.
Yep, like an old school salesman, I've got a vacuum to sell you, and 2 doors will not stop me. I'm coming in. And ColumW, by the way, confirmed 4 points in the first set, as we saw on that final screen there. So he has some ground to make up and gets the clear, so that should be 5-5, tying it back up.
And that level that ColumW just cleared, I believe, is what stumped eedefeed on his first DLC of performance. So I feel like this time around, he's going to like murder that one. He should set a world record on that one, as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely. We'll see what happens here for sure. And tied up 5-5 with just about 3 minutes to go. Plenty of time to get some clears here. Obviously, eedefeed trying to find his way through this one as best as he can. And unfortunately taking some costly deaths, so he has to kind of work his way back to that tower.
Yeah, I'd expect he'll know how to finish this one up to sleepy level. And, well, if a long-time player like eedefeed hasn't played it already, I'd be pretty amazed at that.
And ColumW opting for an interesting strat here. He's trying to actually open up that dense fog and then push himself up with the sproing. Unfortunately, the clouds reform. I can see what he's going for here, but is it worth it rather than doing this the intended way? Because look at this, eedefeed grabbing that clear, breaking the tie, and ColumW having to skip, unfortunately.
Yeah, eedefeed struggled a bit at the start there, and ColumW got a great lead. And yeah, eedefeed just steadily getting the clears to close that gap and now pass it.
We're getting close to the 2-minute mark, guys, with eedefeed currently in the lead. If he wins this, he wins the match and will be moving on to grand finals. ColumW needs to find a rhythm somewhere in here. If he's not feeling the vibe on the level, he may have to opt for a skip sooner rather than later. He's got to know that the time is running out, and probably gonna be looking for those clears sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, he's gonna flex those tiptoe muscles.
Yeah, ColumW onto a shoe bomb level, one of my personal top 3 creators, I'd say. And usually you can expect either a very elegant platforming experience or a puzzle. And it looks like this one might actually be a mix of those 2 different styles.
Always aesthetically pleasing. Shabam does a very good job with the levels. I know we've highlighted a few creators today. Definitely, he is worth your time as well. All of his levels have been fantastic. I've very much enjoyed all of them, and always a pleasure to see them on display here at DLC.
Yeah. And speaking of which, on the right side, we have a Tim Conceivable level, hard light, and looks like requiring you to choose your hard light carefully.
Now, Tim and I have some gentle ribbing for him after last night dealing with one of his crazier levels that came out. Very precise jumps. Specchio, the one who took the match against Into previously, did a deathless clear of it. And speaking of clears, ColumW gets his. Look at this.
That puts it at 6-6 as we're under a minute remaining. Oh boy. Seatbelts on, folks.
Yep, and eedefeed is literally knocking at the door. He sees the goal. He's got to find his way through this, but there's not much time left on the clock. I'm smelling a tiebreaker here, folks, but maybe I'm wrong. We will see.
Yeah, it looks like eedefeed's got to go back to that package. Hopefully he can keep his route on the way back.
Can he get there in time is the question. Looks like he does. That clear might be the one that decides it, folks. And that is a confirmed 7 clears for eedefeed.
Woo! Well, ColumW definitely turned up the engines for this one to give eedefeed a run for his money. Really happy to see that. Great performance by the newcomer on that.
And that looks like it's all she wrote, folks. And a excellent showing from ColumW. Tried his best to run this one back. eedefeed struggling at the start of this, but definitely finding his stride in the latter part of the set. That is a confirmed 7-6 victory in eedefeed. eedefeed going to the grand finals tomorrow to face Specchio. ColumW will be going to the bronze match to face Intuition. What a day of matches here at the Delivery League Championship.
Yeah, we had an absolutely intense nail biter start to the morning with Specchio and Intuition. And second match here, ColumW putting on the guns for the second set to make that one feel pretty exciting. I'm probably going to be feeling jittery all day after all this.
That's for sure. Now this one was a 2-up, 2-down. It didn't go to any tiebreakers, and eedefeed just barely edged that one out. The joke I had made previously that Edie took the leady toward the end of this one and did a fantastic job. Congratulations to him for edging this one out, taking it away from ColumW after such a strong start in the set. It blows my mind, and showing that he is ready for grand finals.
All right, so we have eedefeed and ColumW with us in the booth now.
Hello.
Welcome, Edie. Congratulations on taking that last second victory in that set. You were struggling at the beginning of it, and ColumW was doing pretty decent. Had the lead for the second match that was in there, but ended up pulling it out. How are you feeling right now?
Pretty tense. I've used that word a lot over the past week or so, but yeah, pretty tense. It's I knew I was really struggling with that set to a lot of deaths that cost a lot of time, and it happened a lot. And so I was very nervous about that score.
I have to ask you as well. The level that had the 2 doors that you had to kind of like edge your way into it. You died there twice back to back. I had to imagine that may have been rage inducing.
Wasn't it more than twice? It was like 3 or 4 times, and it was frustrating because you got to spend ages setting up the packet, the throw block and the springs to be in exactly the right position for the switches that you can't even see because they're off screen, and then you hurl yourself at them, and you've got to go. It seems like you got to go through with full speed because if you just throw yourself up against them while they're closed, you just lose all your momentum, and you just don't have enough speed to get through when they finally open. But yeah, that was frustrating. There was loads of levels like that. I never knew when I was going to beat it. It was just throwing attempts at it until eventually I managed to win. Yeah, those are the sorts of levels I'd usually skip, but I was struggling to find levels which went like that. What about those first two? And what about those first 2 levels as well? They were both find the random hidden thing levels, which is just not what you want.
Yep, fun times with obtuse level design. ColumW, you definitely tried your best, my friend. Definitely tried to bring it back. You were doing a good job here on the second match. Couldn't find your rhythm in the first one, unfortunately. Edie to kind of just running away with that one. But you did a really impressive showing there on the second one. We were definitely pulling for you with the confident beginning. I have to ask you the same thing there. Were you thinking that you were going to skip that level with the doors? Because I could see you getting frustrated with the spring setups.
I felt like I was, this close to beating it each time. The frustrating part was getting that spring setup. Like eedefeed said, it's really finicky, and I think I reset multiple times trying to get it set up. I'm sure there was something I just couldn't quite figure out there.
Yeah, a tough setup for sure. That was definitely time consuming just to kind of roll the dice to get your way through the door as well. So, Colum, I got to ask you then. We will be seeing you again tomorrow, but you're going to be going up against Intuition. How do you feel about that?
I think he's a really strong player, and I think I'm going to have a tough time. But who knows? I'll try my best.
Even though it's a battle for bronze, it's definitely it's a prideful match that you can definitely put on a heck of a show here. Obviously, he was dethroned by Specchio here earlier today in one heck of a match. Were you around for that one, or did you come on after the fact?
I saw the last set in the tiebreaker.
Oh, it was a nail biter the whole way through for sure. So, ColumW, how was this different from the last time you had faced me in the match?
This time, I think I got stuck on levels. I think I refused to skip certain levels that I really should have, and I spent upwards of 4 or 5 minutes on a single level. Sometimes it's going to be pretty brutal.
eedefeed, actually, there's another thing I commented too, that in the second match, it seems like you were a lot more hesitant to skip than your first one. Your first one, you cleared the first playlist in 5 minutes. So I was kind of curious about why the strategy this time around.
It was levels that seemed as if they were possible. They were, a lot of the levels were bait. They had really small clear times, right? I had to play them and properly investigate what they actually wanted, because you've got to get a feel for a level as well. I mean, you can skip if you see a high stew time, but you've also got to feel for what the level wants from you. So if the level's really straightforward in what it wants from you, like it wants you to put just do some platforming, go in a certain direction, like it's very linear, it doesn't hide stuff from you, then that's a great level. You want to play that level. But stuff that hides stuff from you and stuff you've got to try and figure out, you just don't know how long that's going to take. And a lot of the levels look really straightforward in this set, as opposed to the last one, where the levels that I skipped, I knew that they were obtuse or puzzly or something like that. I mean, I think perhaps I should have skipped that Tim Conceivable level with the sharks and the hard lights and the switches.
Oh.
But that one, it was another one that just kind of baited me into thinking the clear's just around the corner, but it wasn't.
A tough sell when you have the information in front of you, when you can see the package, when you can see the goal, and you get there, and just like it's you don't want to give up on it from what you have there. I do have to comment that one little blooper that we had happen. eedefeed, you were right in front of the goal in the one level. You're on the way, and you threw the package down the hole, and there was this moment where you just kind of stood there in disbelief before resetting.
Is this rescue? No, it's not. I'm gonna have to reset.
Very
that was a moment.
It's a beautiful thing for sure. All right, guys. So here's some parting words here. ColumW, talk about your experience here. How are you feeling about tomorrow? How are you feeling now? Just anything that's going on. What did you feel about how that match was? Just before we wrap up here.
I feel pretty good. A little deflated, but I feel good about playing.
Yeah, I have to say I'm very impressed, Colin. Yeah, you've done amazingly considering that you arrived here after the game was released, and I've been here for several months now. So perhaps in the next one, you'll be able to take me very easily.
I've been playing quite a bit before the game launched, actually.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Sorry.
Not nearly as many levels as other people, but yeah, I've been here for a bit.
That's good to know for sure, guys. So yeah, I know, Edie, that you were probably hoping to face me in this one, but ColumW, he pulled it out, man, and he did a really good job. I think that me and him were actually pretty well matched in skill for the first match. So I think this result probably would have been fairly similar. You going to grand finals, me going to bronze, if that's how it would have been. But that's not the story today. ColumW versus Intuition tomorrow. eedefeed going for grand finals of DLC 2 against Specchio tomorrow. Specchio with an impressive showing against Intuit. That's going to be a bit of a hill to climb there, eedefeed. How are you feeling about that matchup?
I actually would have rather gone against Intuition. Looking at the strategies that both of them have, Intuition, like Specchio, is very good at working out what the level wants him to do and executing it. Whereas Intuition, I think, was mainly stronger than Specchio in terms of execution, but wasn't always right with his strategy. And I think I have a better chance. I would have had a better chance against Intuition on that front. So actually, I'm very scared. Yeah, I think Specchio might take it, but I'm going to do my best.
It's always scary playing against people who make levels a lot. They're going to know what they're doing.
Yeah, Specchio is an incredibly precise player. That level I gave you yesterday to play on your stream retrofile, the Tim Conceivable level, that's just one tile gap, the level, and it's just like that. And it expects you to slog you through for 15 minutes. Well, Specchio has done that in Deathless, which is just insane. And I was trying to practice that last night to practice for today. But yeah, Specchio he's tough.
Understood. Well, that being said, guys, it's I actually mentioned that level specifically as well when we were talking about Tim Conceivable earlier today. And that level is a slog. Specchio showing that he is no slouch when it comes to precision platforming by any means. Getting that Deathless run on that level is absolute insanity and shows that the level of player he is, not only just in creation, but also in execution. I think it's going to be a wonderful match tomorrow. And for both of them, I think ColumW versus Intuition will also be really good. And you versus Specchio would be good as well. eedefeed, do you have any parting words to pass along? Talk about the competitor, how you're feeling, anything else?
No, I don't. I'm a little exhausted. But no, I don't have any. No, I've spoken far too much as it is.
Good, for sure. ColumW, one thing I wanted to ask you really quick that we've talked about a bit as well is your tournament experience. I believe that you've played Smash competitively. So do you think that having that tournament experience here and playing on the big stage here in front of the community, that helps your nerves at all, or is it still very nerve-wracking in general?
Well, it'll never not be nerve-wracking to some extent. And if it wasn't nerve-wracking, it probably means you're not all that engaged. But yeah, I'd say for sure I've got a lot of heart-pumping matches under my belt, so it helps to calm the nerves a bit. But clearly it didn't help quite enough.
Sure. All right, guys. Well, again, we will see you again tomorrow. Thank you for your time here and for running a wonderful match. Very good set. Good job, eedefeed, for taking the 2-0. Column, a hell of a fight for sure. And thank you guys so much for your effort. And again, for everyone that's viewing here, if you want to get involved with DLC, check out the Discord. It's within the info there. You can go and hop in here and find out when DLC 3 will be happening. Get involved with that. We welcome all skills. We want to see this definitely grow. And you too can get up here and play on the big stage and do your best. So thank you, Edie. Thank you, Colum. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Go rest up.
Thanks, guys.